Checking your physique, I don't think I could want you anymore. Chilling with your girl, I'm jealous that I can't just run over and take you on the floor. And I don't wanna cross nobody. I know it's never worth the pain, but I can feel your eyes run down me, and all my sense just floats away.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode, another stream of Building Muster Minutes live. And we were on Friday starting to get this thing deployed. We're not going to be able to do it today. There's still a few admin things I'm trying to take care of. Predominantly phone numbers, which are a pain. Hey Milo, how's it going? Yeah, I had some issues with I'm setting up Stripe, which is our payment gateway provider, and I have to put a phone number in there, and I don't really want to give everyone my personal phone number, so I'm trying to work out a solution for that at the moment. That's going to take some time. Hoping to get that resolved tonight, tomorrow, and then we'll be able to actually put this live. You can give me your number. No. I'm sure you're okay with my number. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know you, but hey. Maybe you're okay, but maybe there's some people that aren't. I don't know. So, not going to be able to get it live today on the payment gateway provider, but there are a few things we need to sort out other than the phone number. So one of them was emails, and so that's the first thing I think we're going to try and set up. So I'm using SendGrid as our mail delivery kind of provider. They have a free tier, so we should be able to keep within that until we start needing to go up to a higher tier, which will be $19 a month. These things add up quite quickly, but I get to send 100 emails a day on the free tier, and we'll see where we get to on that. And if we need a different solution at some point, we'll look at a different solution at some point. So, but we're going to set SendGrid up for now. I don't think the config for that's too complicated. So we'll just jump into our terminal. Links attach. I was also setting some alacrity stuff up actually, so we can move out of that window, move over to muster minutes. Let's just see actually, have I got anything going on in here? I have got stuff that's changed in here. What is this stuff? Turn the volume down on the music a little bit for me. I think it's okay for you guys, but... what have we got going on here? So this morning I was actually doing... The reason I'm starting late today is I had to do some minutes for the volunteer role that I'm doing. And actually I needed to go grab the text out, so actually I've added this little text route. I'm actually going to keep that in there. That was a tidy up from last time, and that was us starting to do the action mailer, which we'll do later. So I think perhaps we'll just do these two together and just do add, do git commit, and we'll just do feature. Add ability to get text export of transcription. We'll close that. And we'll also do a git push. She'll push that out. And sweet, okay, cool. So now we do space PS and we get just the action mailer config. I'm then going to search, okay, Twilio, Ruby on Rails. How do I do Ruby on Rails Twilio? Verify, not Twilio. God dear, my brain. So Twilio owns SendGrid though, that's why it's confusing. Send email with Ruby on Rails, which is what we're doing. We don't need to set the mailer up. We actually already have the mailer set up. Those are all in our code. We have a user mailer there for the password reset and the email verification. Those are the two emails we currently send. I think there might also be one on the page for sending like a receipt. So we already have the email set up. We don't need to worry about creating emails. This is the part where I think we need to figure this out, because this is the action mailer SMTP settings. So apparently all we need to do is this. I guess I'll copy that and then config/environment. but we're going to do it in our kind of production environment is going to be the plan. We are also going to have an ad in about 30 seconds. I always hate that you have to have an ad straight away, but I do have the automatic ads on just so that we avoid pre-rolls for people who are joining. So hopefully they won't be too long. But yeah, I'll update once the ad's finished or where I got to. Cool. What am I doing here? I'm in the production environment config, right? So I guess I could create a little section somewhere in here for action mailer. Okay. What do we reckon? We're going to move this stuff down, maybe? Because this is like a big mail section. And then API key, that's going to stay the same. This part here, change around those. We're going to make this env.fetch, and then we'll call it sendGrid API key. If I can type. Domain, we're going to make the domain. I can make that a variable as well. Change around these. env.fetch, sendGrid domain. I think we can leave that hard coded. I don't think that needs to worry too much. Same with the authentication, same with that. And let's just delete the end of the line there. And then we'll go forward to the hash. Delete to the end of the line. Have you checked out mailer send? I have not. Let's see. Is that I actually don't know what the best option was. I was just like, I've done some stuff with SendGrid before. What's the pricing like? Free? Oh, okay. That's not bad. I'm assuming that's 3,000 per month. That's a good shout. Why would I not do that? Oh, throwing a spanner in the works. Suppose we could check this out. The problem is I already have SendGrid set up for the DNS. I could have both. We sign up, just see what it says. Josh Brown. I need to sign up. Oh, just sign up with GitHub. Easy. Log in with GitHub. It's still probably. I find a lot of the time still gets me to set up a password. No, okay, fine. We'll have a Juice account and then we'll agree. Of course we agree. Why wouldn't we agree? Welcome to MailerSend. Okay. Thanks for signing up. MailerSend allows you to send transactional emails and SMS. Okay. Cool. Skip. Right. I need to review their policies. Here's some of the comparison. Twitch really butchered that URL. Yeah, that's fine. I just manually selected it. What do they say about SendGrid? Fair enough. I tried using SES once and it was a pain. Like I am already using SES for a bunch of other, like Amazon for a bunch of other stuff, but setting up the SES stuff was a pain. I use it wasn't fun. Also, the reason I've got SendGrid already set up is because I'm using it as part of, I use Hey as my email provider for my domains. And all these little projects I have, I just set up with a SMTP server and then forward all the emails into my one domain. So I just have one email rather than having loads of email accounts. Then I always just need to have an SMTP. Sometimes you need to verify your email before SES can send email to it. Yeah, that's the main problem. I think it was that you have to go through the whole verification step, but the verification step I remember being quite arduous. I don't know why. This seems decent though. They're like, don't spam. What kind of email addresses are not okay to send to? Oh, I see. Anything you brought, loan, no matter what they claim, no, you've not contacted. Okay, usual GDPR standard stuff. Yep. Add ascending domain. Do they have? What's the integrations? Do they have? I imagine it's just SMTP server, right? So mailer, send, Ruby on Rails. They say anything about Rails? Yep, that's easy enough. That's actually probably lighter weight than what was ever going on here. We can do this, yeah. We'll set this up. Thank you for the recommendation, by the way. I think it's going to be interesting, the DNS setup. Right, I've not had to. I actually do kind of want to have separate things for like emails that I'm sending versus emails that are coming through this system. So my system musterminutes.com, add domain, and then it's going to ask me to do verification of that domain. So we'll start through that process. And that's where I need to go grab separate window. I'll log in and then I'll go through that process together once I've logged in and loaded it up. I want to create a bot to send my resumes every job posting related to my experience. I use that mailer send. That's an interesting technique for applying for jobs. Is that spam? I mean, technically under GDPR they are asking you to send. Yeah, exactly. It's not really spam because you're not. There is what's the word? Implied consent, I suppose, in the fact that they're expecting people to send job. Yeah. Okay, cool. Here's all my DNS records. We're gonna add. We've got a lot in here already for SendGrid because I've already done that offline. But let's add these and see which ones clash. Actually, can I? It would actually be better if I changed this rather than doing muster minutes. What if I did? Can I delete this? Delete the domain. We're going to start again. Got an idea. Delete. We don't actually have to send from musterminutes.com. We can send from like. We need a name, but we could do subdomain, I assume, of app. Not app, because app is obviously the app. Oh, we could send from an app. Like, why not send from like platform like or app.musterminutes.com? Does that make sense? Probably. I don't know. What does it say about doing subdomains? Heading Cloudflare. I like how it knows that I'm using Cloudflare. It's obviously looked up at the DNS records. So I'm adding a record here, and I want a TXT record. That's the comment. Oh, the content, not the comment. This is the comment. We don't really have one of these. No? We've got the musterminutes.com txt down there, but I guess that's the same as being at. Okay. I guess we'll just see where this ends up. Do we do another one for TXT? With that name. And that value. And add. I kind of hate that Cloudflare has this panel that opens up. And then this one is the C name, right? MTA, Neelis, MTA. And then the mailersend.net. I always turn off proxy. I don't think it should be there for these. So I have 2 SPF records, which I don't know if is a problem. I need to probably... I have 2 SPF records. Want to send email using 2 different SMTP mail providers. SendGrid and MailerSend. How should I handle the SPF record? Actually don't know. Yeah, that's what I figured. I feel like I've got these 2 things going on at the moment, so let's just go in here. What have we got? We've got that. And we've also got the one down here, which is this. That's it, right? And then the DMARC, which is fine. Interesting that it says Cloudflare, like SendGrid MX Cloudflare, like I'm just going to check quickly on SendGrid to see what the main DNS entries were supposed to be. I actually kind of hate the SendGrid UI. It's a bit I never know where I'm supposed to look for stuff. Settings, I assume. Sender authentication. Domain authentication. They don't actually... They didn't actually get me to put an SPF in. Do you not need to do the SPF? Send a policy framework records to ensure your emails are authenticated unless likely to be marked as spam. Send grid SPF. Maybe they just don't get you to put it in, but really I probably should have done. Just checking the SPF record on a different domain now because I'm a bit confused about what's going on with that. I'm guessing that SPF one must have been there before. And send grid. I don't think send grid gets you SPF. Yeah, it was supposed to be that, but it should have been that. Okay, well, these are the records I have. Looks like I also need to include send grid. .net. I'm kind of hoping that, you know, ChatGPT would just go, here you go, here's the combined one. It does. But after like a full barrage of all of this junk, I'm like, stop it, mate. Stop it. Okay, this TXT up here. Right, fine. I'm actually going to go back away from doing the app.musterminutes.com, I think. We're going back on ourselves. I think I can just have two SMTP servers. They both just have to be in this spoof. They actually do have in that spoof what's supposed to be there by the looks of it. We'll delete this one and then we'll go up to this one and include that, and then we'll also do a space include sendgrid.net because it looks like that's what I was supposed to do here. Okay, and then this is the domain key, which I'm assuming is probably changed now that I've moved some stuff around. Yeah. Yep. Mailer send. And then the return path is probably the same, mailersend.net, yes. Custom DNS records for tracking. Display a different URL in your emails for your own custom domain. I don't really want to do the thingies, but sure, let's set that up. That's a C name, which is going to be email. And we won't proxy it. Although proxying it probably would be fine here. And domain forwarding. Choose a dedicated subdomain that you plan to use exclusively for inbound email processing. Don't need to worry about that right now. Improve deliverability. I think that already just says, hey, like, it's valid. You're already doing it. I'm sending my DMARC requests to reports to Cloudflare. I have added the records. Verify the domain. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Turn these off. I don't really like tracking. We'll leave it in there for now. Fine. Whatevs. Whatevs. So can I test this in some way? How do I know? How do I know it worked? Webhooks, inbound routing, it allows your users to reply to your messages. It says upgrade plans, so that looks like that's a paid feature where you can allow people to reply to your messages. We don't necessarily need to do that because we can just have like our inbound is just set up by Cloudflare is handling our inbound routing. You don't have any SMTP users, and I haven't got any, so I guess this allows me to just create an SMTP. Oi, oi, good weekend. Good, thank you. How was yours? I actually don't know what I did this weekend. What did I do? I think it was good. Played some board games on Saturday, and then yesterday went for a run. I don't know. How was your weekend?
Listen to me speak, but just say what you want. What words will you keep? The ones that cause us harm. You assume the worst, but that is yet to come. Because you caused it first, and now we've come undone.
Sender identities. Okay, so actually we're going to use this, and we're going to Control C, Q, exclamation mark. Not bad. Saturday was in the workshop with Dad, mostly Sunday, mostly chilling. Finishing enclosure for your 3D printer. Nice. I never started building an enclosure for my 3D printer. It does make the whole thing a lot bigger. I did buy, like, I was going to do the IKEA table. I don't know if you've seen that one. There's like a IKEA table, enclosure, 3D printer. Prusa. Is yours a Prusa? What is your 3D printer? Yeah, this. So I have two. I have actually got, like, there's a free tier version. That was at the NDS 3.1 Pro. I actually do have 3 of these tables. And I did have the 3D printer sat there, but I never printed these bits and put it together. And mostly just because I never really used the 3D printer once it got to where it was. Because the bed leveling was the painful part. It was just. Yeah, that was the plan. Yeah, now I have a glass print bed. I basically never need to level it. How does the glass being the bit that you never need to level? Because it could still be. I suppose because you didn't have to build yours as well. Problem was that I built mine. So I probably built it all crooked. Design. Change inside quotes. Where do I want to send this from? Pics of it in your Discord. That's pretty cool. It's quite a nice enclosure, actually. I assume all these bits are like things you 3D printed, the actual like bits that are holding the plexiglass together. Yeah. So that's that. I'm going to do it support@mustardminutes.com. And then all I should have to do is go into here somewhere. Mains. Manage. Create a new token. Just a minute's app, and I'm gonna hide this off the screen. What's the minimum I need? Like, I need to create an API token, but like, how is this different to the other screen? This is a slightly different screen. Oh, you can specify which domain. Mailer send API token permissions. I just want to be able to send email. I don't want to be able to do. Does make the thing 70 by 65 by 65, so it's a little harder to move into another room. Are you really moving the 3D printer that much though? Do you not have a space? You can have it permanently. Which of those permissions gives me the ability to send? I'm pretty sure Perusa sell kits. You update yours and get auto leveling. They do sell upgrade kits. I didn't buy my Perusa through Perusa because Perusa didn't really become the kind of commercial operation. So mine's an i3. Is it Perusa i3? But they sell they sell these upgrade kits. They say they even have like the original Prusa i3, but it's like the Mark 3S. So I suppose they're all i3. But mine's like the Mark 0. Mark 1. In May 2012, it was a redesign. I have the Mark 3, the Mark 1 0, something like that. In 2015 is when they kind of started doing their like full thing. So in May 2012 they released the redesign, but in 2015, which was like the year after I bought that 3D printer from another company, they released the i3 under the original Prusa i3 name, and then there was a Mark 1 update. I'm pretty sure, so my i3 is kind of a Mark 0, but also has some upgrades on it, like the 1.75mm extrusion, like filament diameter. It basically means I don't have their stock Prusa, which means that upgrade kits never really worked, and now it's been so long that it's too old. They don't sell the upgrade kits anymore. Like, you start upgrading one thing and then you end up upgrading the whole thing because like the board changes, or I think that was one of the big changes, like the board and the software was different. Where did I get mine from? It was, what was that company called? I don't remember now. I don't remember. My phone just rang as you started looking. No worries. Mine's 2015, but like probably 2014. Did I get it in 2015? I think I got it in 2015, but maybe months before Prusa started selling their own original i3. Still can't remember what the company was that I bought mine through. And then the company I bought mine through stopped selling it shortly after, because I think Prusa just started selling it as like the official manufacturer. So a lot of the companies that were selling the kits just stopped selling the kits and started focusing on other things. So the company I bought it from stopped supporting it, and Prusa obviously only wanted to support their own stuff. So it was a shame, really. It's made it a bit more difficult. It was called Ooze Nest, I think, actually. This was the company that I bought it from. But this was before Prusa started selling them themselves. And I mean, now they sell stuff, but I don't think they sell a kit for anything. They sell stuff to build stuff, but yeah, mine's some sort of combination of things. They do sell all the individual parts now. Like, they've got the Pinder probe and the magnetic heated bed. Like, these, like specifically this is the thing that allowed it to do auto bed leveling, and it doesn't even level the bed. What it does is create a 3D mesh that it knows the height over the board, so it can account for the board being at a bit of an awkward angle to the rest of the frame. You can just sense. The version that mine has a, I think you can do some form of auto bed leveling, but it's just manual. It's a bit of a pain. You have to like lower it, get it to touch, and then there's like a piece of, yeah, it's just a pain. It takes too long to just set up and go. I don't bother with my auto leveling really. And it's causing more issues than it solved. Yeah. I manually do it with a glass bed and it's fine. Could flog your current one and get a new one. I don't know if there's any value in my current one, because I think, yeah, I don't know. It just, there's value in the parts, I suppose, more so than the 3D printer as a whole. Yeah, I could sell the what does the what the motor's called? Are they Nemo or something? Motor? What is the motor called? Yeah, they're stepper motors, but they're yeah, they're a specific brand. I can't remember the specs on them, but I could find them all out. I do have the data sheets and stuff somewhere. I mean, they're expensive on their own. Nema, that was it. Nema 23. What are those? £24. And I've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4 potentially. So it's like £100 just in stepper motors. If you think you'd get the use out of a new one rather than having the current barrier you have, yeah, that's the challenge. I just don't think I have a use case for it. I don't have the space for it at the moment either. There are things that I like occasionally, like, oh, I wish I could 3D print that, but just don't have the time or the space. They have come down a lot in price. I think mine was like £400. I did definitely get some use out of it when I had it. Worth selling the bits from your current one though, or those motors lose more value. That's true. Yeah, I should just take it apart and then sell the pieces, and then I'd have, yeah. It's not a bad shout. It's taking up space, but it's in a storage container that has lots of space, so it's not taking up space in my space. But it could be some free money. Tokens. Now, what do these scopes mean? I want to do I guess email full. Box. What did I call this? Mailer send API key. Must a minute. Environment. Add Embark. Mailer send API key. Save changes. I need to add that. Yeah. If you think of things like that, I'm always looking for more things to print model, start a list and send them over. That's true. I can just use you. I don't actually need to get a 3D printer now because I just know people that have 3D printers that I can get to print stuff. I think that's, I guess I've always known someone with a 3D printer though. So, there's just that extra Kieran was to me before. I think the problem with that though is like there is just that extra layer of like effort if you want something. But depends how much you want it, I suppose. What am I doing here? Configure. Set up mailer send for email.
Don't say you see me so. We both know it's never true. You only meet me when you're feeling good.
Okay, cool. So that should have sent. And now if I go over to Hatchbox, which I need to check, yeah, that's fine. Hatchbox is where we're hosting everything. Ish. If you have the model easy, otherwise, yeah, you'll have to do a rough sketch or sit in Discord whilst I model it. I can't even remember a lot of things because I just don't think about it anymore, like as an option. Where is repository? That was it. Automatic deploys is off at the moment, so I need to click deploy. So if I refresh this, manage. I have a list of things to model at all times. If I'm bored or no one's about for games, I'll just start a model. That's quite good. Quite a good way of doing it. I guess that's the same for me with coding. Just always have something that I need to work on, so, or want to work on. Okay, so that's deployed. I'm going to go settings. I'm going to disable maintenance mode because I want to see whether I can... Not been tempted by Power World then? No. No. What did I do here? Don't reset your password until you verify your email. Then send me the verification email. If I sign up again, joshjuice.com. Did I set up a login here? Oops. I'm holding off unless you, Marcus, get it. TS on Games Pass too. What, Power World's on Game Pass? That's interesting. If it is. Is that Xbox Game Pass? Is that what Game Pass is? I'm so out of the loop. I would like to see the logs of my app. How do I do that? View app? Oh, that's just viewing the app. Okay. Processes, view logs. There we go. Null in value in column email relation accounts violates not null constraint. I think I just need to dump the database. Ignore the password. In fact, if I used Table Plus or Beekeeper Studio. Is this actually the password? New connection. Postgres. Don't know, I had multiplayer issues and a few building bugs that I could do with some polish, but I don't mind waiting for it to come out of early access. Don't get the issue. Don't want the issue to mar the otherwise fun game. Yeah, that was the same with satisfactory as well. Kind of those issues we had. It was good, but then we had those issues with like Martin being kicked out the get, like, and also got booted out the thing. Dying, yeah. And then also Minecraft. I was gonna say there was something I saw. Did I bookmark that? What did I do with that? There's a game server thing that I saw literally last night. I can't find my bookmarks. Do I have bookmarks? I never use bookmarks. So I must have written about it in here. Log sec. Yeah, this. Actually tempted to set this up at some point, but I need to find a server or something. You pay for this once, and then it's basically the same as those online UIs you get for like setting up game servers. It's a server hosting thing, but it's a self-hosted one. So this is just the software. So rather than paying a monthly fee to run the server, you just get a decent computer that you can have always running, plugged on the network, and then pay £30 once or £7.50 once. And then you get an admin panel for just running the games. I think the different versions, like this has 5 app instances, and you can have more games going on and different things like that. That's on a single server, you can have a whatever. But then they've got like all of the games basically. Yeah, I was gonna do something like this once I get fiber to the house. That's what I was thinking about, because I was like, well, I've got fiber. I could just have a computer upstairs in the loft next to the router plugged in, which fingers crossed should be before the end of Q1. Nice. Can run it on the Plex server PC. Yeah, that would be what's like. I need to set up like a proper server. The only thing I have at the moment is the Raspberry Pi, and the Raspberry Pi is not really going to run a game server for Satisfactory or anything. It struggled to install NeoVim on it the other day. Have you even got Rust? Okay. What was I doing here? So I'm trying to see, like, is this publicly accessible? Postgres, host and port. This is the, not quite that, but yeah, get rid of the %20. I don't know what the port is. The username is that. The password is that. The default database is that. Connect. Matchbox 1 save. Connection timeout. That's not the IP address of the server, is it? Do have to keep this in mind though for when I do get good internet. £30 is reasonable. Why I saved it, because I was just like, actually this is pretty good. The only other thing that you need to think about if you're going to run it is, do you know if you'll have a static IP address when you get your fiber? You have static IP? Nice. Good. Yeah, that would be the other thing to thing. Although Cloudflare have a tunnel thing, because we have fiber, but we don't have static IP. It's something Dad requires. Yeah, I have fiber at the moment, but I don't have static IP, so I was thinking of just using this though. You can just set up a tunnel, and then this allows you to have a... Dad wants static for his work stuff. This allows you just to have like, mostly for incoming traffic, you can set up a web address. If you have a domain name, you can just set an IP. You just install the tunnel on one of your servers and sets that up. Works around that issue. Okay. I want to check something in DigitalOcean just a second. I just need to read up on security, make sure none of his stuff can be accessed or network breached, yeah. Yep. That should all be fine. You just need to set up port forwarding and stuff like that. I guess you do need to open up. There'll be things in the like firewall that you'll need to open up. Which I think is another thing that like the Cloudflare tunnel thing is probably a good solution for. So even if you do have a static IP, that might be an option. That is the IP address of the server. Yeah, fine. It looks like it's okay, but I will want to change that password. I kind of want to delete this just to recreate it, so that then... Oh, I could just... Let's just SSH into that server. SSH or deploy. There we go. And then I can, for muster minutes, I do that command there. And then do account.all. There's no accounts. User. There's no users either. Interesting. That's localhost. I'm doing it on here at the moment, although... Why has it gone there? I was debating suggesting activity for Saturday, but not sure Stunnuller will be game for anything other than food. Food. Escape room? What? You can suggest it. They might be up for it. I'm always down for an escape room. I feel like escape rooms are becoming a thing that I do regularly now. I've already done one this year, so I'm sure there's some pretty good ones. Nearby. Did a few with Marcus and Jay last year, and yeah, they were pretty fun. We did one which was a good, like, not this weekend, but the weekend before. We did one with a larger group of people. It was a friend's birthday, and there was about 10 of us. And 10's quite a lot for an escape room, but they did it in a way that it was a time machine, and there were different rooms. So you had to there was 3 different rooms. There was like ancient Egypt, Victorian times, and I keep forgetting what the other one was. Like some sort of cowboy one. Like Wild West, that was it. Wild West, Victorian, ancient Egypt. So you split into 3 teams, you solved your room, and at the end of it you got crystal that you took back into the main room, and then you had to get the time machine working with all the crystals. It was an hour, I think we had an hour. They generally are always an hour long. But you could, I guess, do that one multiple times if you had a smaller group, because you could do each room separately, and then on the very last one just do give the crystals. So it's quite good. You could also go back and switch rooms if you'd not done one of the other rooms as that same group. You could just be like, oh, we'll do the different rooms. I think we were like 6 overall, like fastest. The first group managed to solve one of the clues apparently. The team that were like first did it in 46 minutes or something. But they managed to just solve one of the clues without ever even like actually solving it. They just kind of put the code in by luck. Apparently, so. Scammed. I'm betting there's some good ones around Ella's place. Yeah, I imagine there would be. Okay. Just fluked it, yeah. Like, absolute fluke. Okay, this here. I'm wanting to see what's going on. Let's close that. Exit this. What else did it say? It said I can do to read the process logs. I can just do this. I can just follow the logs and then I go in here and click sign up. And then we get an error. Not null violation. Null value in column email of relation accounts violates a not null constraint. That's because we added accounts to have email, but we don't have the default set to the account. So that's something I actually need to go fix in my code. That makes sense. In here, I added email. Before save or create, set account email. Set account email. It's going to be equal to the first user's email. And then we'll do control space PS tab git fix account email missing. Git push. And then we need to come back to here, go out. Most of these are junk. Deploy. Yeah, I need to book a hotel room or something for the weekend. Open incident network connectivity in London 1. What's going on with DigitalOcean? Okay, hopefully they've been solved 2 hours ago. It's being monitored now. Okay, that's deployed. .mrminutes.com. Sign up. Did I? So I should be able to just do that. Oh, there we go. No method error. Undefined method email in set account email for nil class. I suppose. When does this account get created? User. A secure password belongs to an account before validation. After update. There's this. Before validation on create. And it does this like account.new. I mean, I suppose the other option here is just at the end of this line. I can just say that email is equal to the email. Account, and then we can just delete those. I've been thinking about a tent for the mons too so far. I think my plan is if to you two and Marcus and Amy, the couples in one big tent, I can borrow it off a racing friend. Don't worry, you would have your own sleeping spaces, and they're like large, like standing room with an entrance area to keep things, spacious tent. And the rest of us three single lads have two small tents that should fit all our two pitches. Yeah, that sounds good to me. That makes sense. Yeah, I think I've been in tents like the one you're describing. Like the two separate side pods and then the middle section. Yeah, something like that. Nice. I still need to, like, I was going to say to Kaylee, I think when we come see you, we'll probably chat about logistics and stuff around some of that stuff, because I need to figure out, I have got the plane booked for that period of time, so like the day before and then the whole week after, but there still could be the risk that the weather or something wrong with the plane, so I'm probably going to book the Eurotunnel, but on a ticket that I can cancel. The only bit that I don't know about is parking. If I need parking when I get there, or where I could park. That's the challenging bit. Thank you. Hopefully I don't need it and I can fly down, but just never know. Okay, so now we click deploy. And all of these errors are making me think that I need something like, is it Sentry? Sentry? Sentry's one of them. What's the pricing on that? There's a free version of Sentry. App Signal, that's another one. App Signal costs €18, £15 a month. Can I have a cheaper version, please? 30-day free trial. When does this free tier stop working out? If there's nothing close by or secure, Dad knows someone who likely runs one of the other campsites, which is walled off with security. So maybe I have to leave your car up there. I'll find out. Yeah, that'd be decent. Because Because it doesn't even have to be close by. Like, I'm fine with leaving it somewhere. I guess as long as it's secure. Is probably the main thing. May well be free too. Yeah. I mean, I'd be saving money, I guess, anyway, by not flying. So I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be. I don't know actually. Once I add the Eurotunnel, I suppose you're only paying for the car. But I think it's going to be what, £150, I think, each way for the tunnel, Eurotunnel, and then fuel, which no, it's like an extra £40, I think, each way. Do you know how far in advance you have to book the tunnel? I guess I only really need the way in to be pre-booked. I can be fairly flexible on the way back because I could just be in France for a bit longer. I think that's our plan anyway. I think we're going to try and go somewhere else afterwards. I also need to learn how to, like, not learn, but like actually fly to France at some point. Not done it yet. I'd rather not do it on that first trip. Try and make a plan to go to Le Touquet or something. That weekend is Spenny. Benny. So the developer plan, which is that one, 5k errors, view events in Discover, can't build queries in Discover, its whole thing. You can be cheeky and they'll always let you on the next train. We can talk on the weekend. Yeah. That was what I was originally debating doing. I was like, well, I'll just turn up. Not just turn up, but like book it like the day before. I'll know probably the day before, at least. I suppose something could happen on the day. I am thinking I'll probably fly down the day before just to avoid those issues. And then just stay at like an airport hotel or something. I don't know, this is the joys of flying and then having to be somewhere at a time. Logistics. Day before is a little harder because they may just say there's no space and they won't let you buy a ticket. Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, that's true. It's yeah, you can be a bit more cheeky by just turning up. Makes sense. I know nothing about Get Sentry. I'm kind of like, actually, it probably is worth considering. Sign up. I've signed up. Everything's all over the place because I think my CSS and my HTML is not really flying properly. But did I get an email? I have to not show my emails on stream. I would hope that I get a kind of confirmation email. Redirected, 302 found. If you have a ticket, they can't say no. There's this thing called Flex Plus, which basically means rock up when you want within 48 hours of your booking. That sounds very expensive. Don't see the thing that I'm looking for. If I log out I go, oh, I forgot my password. I've got to verify. Well, then send me the verification email. If possible, it's gone into like a spam or something, isn't it? I suppose. Great. Email from the accountant that I need to deal with at a later date. The problem when I open my emails, yeah, normally it's like another £100 on top. Right, I'm going to go in the workshop, see you in a bit. No worries, thanks for hanging out. Chat to you in a bit. I'm going to try App Signal for a bit. I'll get the 30-day trial, and then maybe we'll switch over to Sentry at some point in the future. Sign up GitHub. App Signal. Ross Brown. Yeah, sure. I'm new. Or Juice. How did you find about it? I just knew. I heard about it from Rails World. Stroop Waffles. Yeah, I've heard about Stroop Waffles. All of the above. None of the above. There needs to be an all of the above. Although, I'm not a returning customer, so... can't remember. I don't know. Street Waffles. Sounds fun. I actually want a Street Waffle now. What are you hoping to achieve? I'd like to catch my errors, and I'd like to monitor my servers, and yeah, that'll do. Rails. So we come into here. Actually, we do be free. Bundle ads. App Signal. And then we'll bundle install, and then we'll do bundle exec app signal install. I'm guessing that code was probably some sort of secret code to install, but hey, yeah, that was the API key that it just, you know, shows on screen. The name, do you want to change how this is displayed? Yeah, I don't want it to be that. I'll just call it muster minutes. How do you want us to configure all these environment variables? Stop. Yes, we'll take these, thank you. I'm guessing that I put those into Hatchbox, but I'm again gonna have to change them. App signal push API key. We'll grab that, and then we'll do app signal app name muster minutes. I get the feeling that it needs to be probably better if it's not got spaces, but okay. Turn to the browser and follow instruction. Go to the app. Okay. I don't have a team. We'll set up notifiers. Email's fine for now. Perhaps we'll set other ones up later. Yeah. Suppose we could do Discord at some point. Namespaces. We're going to do that later. Enable uptime monitoring. Probably quite nice. I don't really need that right now though. And deploy markers. How do we do that? Okay. We'll do that later. What are we doing here? So that was the example. Interesting. It says development there. How do I change either one, the keys, or two, the, you know, the tings? Push and deploy. The app push API key is exposed, then yes. Cycle push API key. Both of them. And then we'll invalidate the old ones. Okay, those are now changed. We go in and find the app signal in vars. We'll do, I guess, the deployment notifications. We can configure on Hatchbox, the plan. And then, can I change the name in some way? Was I supposed to do the name like, what name spaces? What does this say? Like if we go app signal, languages, Ruby on Rails, APM. So that's all that did. We'll just git commit. Do you not have to, you just install the gem? Interesting. Is there a, I should have just done this in here then. Git commit. What did we do here? Observability. No. Logging. I guess we're adding logs in some way. Set up app signal. Git push. And then we'll go back in here and we'll just make sure that once these things are done, we'll click deploy. Make sure that we have the latest. And then I guess we'll just see what happens once that's all done. Let's go source maps. I'm still curious. I'm not really doing any, I just want to get the back end part in. I'm not worrying about front end. I'm just still doing stuff off screen a second because I don't know what screens are going to show API keys, but let's go for it and see. Your overview. Yeah, I really hate these. Where's it gone? Stop, 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 stop. This can be deleted, right? This is an issue. Change status. Closed. Anyway, I can just remove it because it was just junk. All environments. Okay, so I guess it just knows the environment from the environment variable. So if I do that, time detected. Samples, attributes, graphs, logbook, boys. App settings. I guess at some point I should see another environment. Uptime pages. Throughput 2. Oh, so it is maybe seeing some stuff. Sign in. We're signed in. Meetings. New meeting. Test. Use file. Hello Cutie Pie. Create the recording. Do not know what is happening with the screen. What is all of this? There should be errors coming up. Is this still thinking it's development? Issue list. That's that one. Performance issue list. Okay. Closed. Why are all these closed? I guess there's no incident there. An M+1 query issue problem detected on meetings controller. That's quite interesting to know. Anomaly detection, time, host monitoring, host metrics, host usage. Okay, that's still a bit confused about like why does this know it's development? If I add an app, what am I doing to be able to configuration, installation, configuration overview. Oh, I see. So I could just have a config app.yml. I also need to set this as an environment variable, so probably that's something I need to do. I thought it would I see production, it's going to use these. That's the minimum. Okay, I've pushed that live. So now if I go in here and refresh, what does this do? Do I now have... Maybe it takes a second. Edit. Test. Test 2. process memory usage dashboard. And a VM metrics dashboard, interesting. I've deployed that new environment variable that sets the, what was it called? The app signal app env is now set to production, but I still don't see like a way of switching to production in here. Maybe it's just taking some time to come through. Logging, all logs. Easy to use log management. I lied, I'm still lurking. So what are you trying to get working at the moment? So my plan is to try and get this live and working. So this is a URL that you can actually go to, but everything's broken at the moment. And so I'm just slowly trying to solve those problems. And so there's a couple of things that I'm trying to do. One of them was get it to send emails. Yeah, it's all not working. One of them is it should send a verification email when I sign up. I still don't have... Do I have an email now? Yeah, I still don't have an email from that. Account creating, yeah. Oh, you're creating an account on there. What was the this one? Yeah, so it creates the account and then it's supposed to send a verification email. So I should be able to do user.first. U equals user.first. U.send. Is there an action to like send a verification email? The user. Before validation, after update, session. Where is it setting the validation email? Mailer. So there should be email verification there. Do I have to manually send? Is it not sending those? Generate token 4. Let's do telescope live rep email verification. If I go on the user, should be able to go in here and do change email, resend the verification email. Apparently it sent me one. Now I don't know if it did or not. I'm using mailer send for sending that. I don't know what that tick was about. While pending approval, you can send emails to... Oh, I see. Bloody approval steps. Minutes.com. And I'll set this up off screen. Hopefully it doesn't take them too long to approve. Email very transactional. Oh, was the email service the thing you did the 30-day trial of? No, the email service has a free tier. I can send about 3,000 emails a month. So, but in order to use that service, I have to get approved. I've set it all up, done all the configuration for that. What I missed was the small print that was, hey, we need to approve you before we'll actually send any of the emails. So I think what is happening, is our application is trying to send the emails. It's sending them to mailer send, and mailer send is going, you're not approved yet. So, such as your backend is linked to it. Yes, yeah, exactly. The thing that I did the 30-day trial of is AppSignal, and AppSignal is supposed to tell me when there's problems. So if there's bugs or performance issues, I can view them all in AppSignal and see them all in there. So I get like an overall observability of that application, make sure it's running okay. If there's any bugs, if it crashed for anyone, I can see it through there. Transaction emails such as email confirmation, password reminder, or password reset emails, and password reset. And the music stopped, which means my brain stopped, because that's how it works, right? Transactional emails such as email confirmation, password reset emails, and invoice receipts. We'll use email this service for transactional emails. We allow people to upload their meeting recordings, and we will transcribe them and generate minutes for those meetings with AI. I wanted a little bit of a blurb about how we're gonna, what our business model is and how we're gonna use email. What services have I used before? Use SendGrid, and SES available. I suppose I haven't really used those services for this specific project. How many emails you send? Not that many. Transactional, save. Okay. We aim to update within 24 hours. So, what I can do, however, if I log out of here and sign up, if I signed up with, and I'll just have to take it off screen a second while I set that up. But if I go in here and create a new account, but do it as josh@musterminutes.com, which probably would have made more sense if I'd used that email address the whole time. But hey, here we go. I only set those up this morning. Now I create a password for that, select save without having to do the thing, so we can check it works, is use josh@musterminutes.com, sign up with that email address. I should now have received that as an email. Potentially. Or maybe not. Maybe there is a problem still. Now that we've set that up, is there any way of checking error log? No. Activity. Don't have any sense. Send your first email. I'd like to send my first email, but it won't work. What's going on here? Where's that? That's all up to date, yes. Log sources, manage source. I never finished setting this up. What has it done? Manage source, application, manage source. installation. This source is created automatically for every application, is used to display any logs sent from the application. Log source cannot be removed or updated. You can add storage if you want to save it for a longer period of time. Cool. I'm still not really seeing what I want to see here. I did see some stuff there, so have you tried turning it off and on again? On and off again? I always do it off. You've got to turn it off before you can turn it on, right? Hey Double Cream Ice Cream. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, I wish I knew. I can't find the off button. We're seeing data come through here because I'm seeing like performance stuff and graphs of things happening. I'd like to see still don't really have any errors, which is I guess good. I mean, I should be seeing errors because they're certainly not happy, but those are mostly front end, and I guess they're mostly returning 404 errors for these JavaScript things. Don't know why. There's probably some bundling, asset bundling thing that I need to pick up and fix at some point soon. Surely we should see some logs of some kind. When you enable, I think what I'm gonna have to do is maybe just quickly check, because there's two different oh, I see. I'm using the push key that is only for this app and environment. So regardless of what app name I'm sending, if I change the environment variable to the organization-wide one and save changes, that should solve that problem. It's you, Timothy. It's fine, no worries. Hi. How's it going? You don't need to apologise, it's fine. I've got too many tabs. Actually, it's too many windows. The tabs aren't too heavy. We'll close that, and then we'll bring back... No, not that one. There. This one. Oh, this is the reason I had this on the other screen, was because it has these secret variables on that you're not supposed to see. You're not supposed to know about those, chat. Now I've got to invalidate them all. Don't take it the wrong way, but this is great background stuff to listen to. Now in the workshop prepping for tomorrow. I don't know how I could take that the wrong way. Thank you. Too late, we screenshotted it, it's fine. I've already cycled the one of them. I've not done both of them. I mean, there isn't much you really could have done with those other than just send me more logs. To sift through at some point. It's depending. Okay, we can show that now. Okay, now go back here. And back here. Although, if I get used to it if I get used to just vaguely listening to you, I'm going to tune you out in Discord when I'm in game. Rude. That's fine. Okay. So now we've got production and development, and then I can go in here. There's no issues. I can go in here. We haven't seen any data yet. It takes a little while for things to come through. We should start seeing some data in here of usage. And then I'm guessing the application just logs. There's another API key there, but I don't know what that is. App signal logs. It's new apparently. Out of the box for Ruby, so I just don't have to do anything. It should just send them all there. I guess if I just use it and log out and log in, new meeting, test, upload a recording, create the recording. It takes a few seconds. It does take a little while for things to show up in here. That's fine. 0 requests. There we go. So there are the first few requests coming in by the looks of it. Issue list. You can see there like the time and the load. Cool. Fine, that gives me some view of like servers. Another thing that I'd want to see though is gonna be kind of what the users are and how many users there are and what they're doing. For that, I like to use PostHog. PostHog is a platform for product analytics and A/B testing and feature flags and all sorts of things like that. So this is going to allow me to turn features on and off as different people, which is going to be really useful and important as well. So actually, I'm going to sign up for this and we're going to use this on our platform. Get started for free. I can sign up. I'm not going to use... What accounts do I have on here? I have a Juice one. I don't need to sign up if I already have an account. Just going to take this off screen while I figure out what this is and what I've got in here, because I think it should just be... Okay, there's just an example demo product in there. There's no other things going on. If I create a new project, multiple projects in an advanced feature, okay. But one of these projects is a dummy project and the other one is just a default project. So I don't know what you're on about. Pick our first product. You're doing your Catan face. I guess this is your thinking expression. What? Okay. Just what my thinking face looks like, okay? How do you know about these services and stuff from past projects? Yeah, mostly. Just building them up over time. Just from past projects and past companies I've worked on, and just also like I find a lot of them on Twitter. Like people share stuff or get ads about them and stuff. So mailer send, I actually only found out about today. Someone just joined my chat and was just like, I was using SendGrid initially, which is a different one, which is from a different company that I've done some stuff with before. And they said, hey, check out MailerSend, and MailerSend actually has a better free plan than SendGrid, so I'm using them. AppSignal, I actually saw about when there was a conference on last year, and they did a big promotion thing. I didn't go to the conference, but I saw a lot of the material out the back of the conference. I was like, actually, they sound interesting. And they do quite a lot in the space of Ruby on Rails, which is the programming language and library and stuff that I'm using. That's why I'm using them at the moment. And then PostHog I used my last work project. So there's a few things here. That's helpful, kind of what I'm hoping for when I stream. Someone has a better idea on how to make something. That's cool. We're going to add in PostHog. User.all. Okay. So we're going to add PostHog-Ruby. Bundle. Oh, what's going on there? Bundle add PostHog-Ruby. Is there like a specific Rails thing? I don't think there is. I'm probably gonna have to do a lot of this manually. Is there a guide somewhere? Post hog Rails. Your Twitter ads are very different to mine. It's mostly past experience. Yeah, Twitter you have to curate a little bit. Maybe it's not ads, but perhaps just people that I follow on Twitter. Follow a lot of product development, software engineering stuff on Twitter, so I'm like always on Twitter. Don't post that. Okay, so we've got Rails already set up, done all of that stuff. At some point down here, we'll get to the part where we integrate the post hog library. Now, I'm not going to worry too much about the JavaScript library just yet, but I am going to think about this. I'm going to create a post hog initializers file. Is the plan? So we'll go initializers. We already have AWS there. We'll go space PV for project view. Off X. Oh yeah, sorry. I feel like I always have to do the like X. I don't know. Post hog.rb. In this file, we're going to configure post hog. Don't know what the $sign. You can call $post hog throughout your Ruby on Rails application to access the features of post hog. Okay, fine. We'll call it that. I don't know what that number is. Again, I'm just showing all of the API keys today. You never know. Actually, if that is the post, that I would do end.fetch post hog API key. Skip for now. I would like you to do that at some point, but I'm not doing that right now. Upgrade without add-ons. What is this? Skip for now. I just want the free version. I think you have to do the paid plan, but this is a weird thing about post hog. You've got the free plan, or you've got the paid plan, but as long as you keep yourself under the limits, then the paid plan costs $0 per month. I will set up billing information later, but for now I'm just going to skip a bunch of this. I'm going to finish here and then go into this. I need to go and change my API key again. Where does this stuff exist? This. You mean the site formerly known as Twitter before X? Yeah. Yeah, that one. Reset, copy. I have a project ID, a project API key. I guess I just don't want this to run in development. I guess I could do unless rails.env development. Or I could do like if rails env production. And then we'll set the post hog. The hatchbox. Environment. There is a lot of environment variables in here. What do we call this one? Post hog API key. I'll paste that value in there. Also, while I was there, I did the thing, didn't I? I pasted the app signal. I need to go back there and reset that key because I showed it again. when I did paste earlier, that was the key. Administration, API keys, cycle, invalidate. And then we'll go back here, swap that out and save changes. Okay, and then I need to, every time I copy a key, I need to make sure that I copy something else. That way I don't paste a key, because that wasn't a key, that was just a random number. Right. So I've added post hog. Problem is post hog. How do I like? I only want to do this if. And that's ChatGPT what it suggests here. So I'm going to do Shift V, we're going to select all of this, we'll yank that, and then I'll say, I feel like many tools try to give full capability and just put costs into limits on usage, a lot like student editions. Yeah, that's usually how a lot of it works. Especially tools like this, PostHog, and because their costs are the limit, are the usage. The more you use those tools, the more there's cost. And I suppose it's the same as what I'm doing here with muster minutes. It's the cost is the usage. So per minute of audio has a direct translation to the length of the meeting, which is the length of the minutes that I need to generate usually. The ones that are annoying is when you have like a per user cost. I hate, like, it's not so bad now, it's like when I'm working on a project on my own, but when you're a company and you're having to deal with lots of per user costs and there's services in there that's kind of useful for someone to have access to maybe once a month, you don't really want to be spending $15 a month per user, maybe sometimes more, $30 a month, for having that one user access once a month. I think customer success tools are a good one like that. So many customer support tools, Zendesk for example is just one of them, but they all have the same pricing model usually. It's per agent, £45 per agent for a month, but actually it's probably quite useful to have the development team have access to what's going on with customers, especially if you're a smaller company. Maybe developers could even respond to a couple of tickets, but they're not in there every day for the whole month. There's no point paying £45 per. Those are annoying. My initializers file in Ruby as posthog.rb. How can I make this only in production? What about when posthog gets called in dev environments? I bet they want you to become dependent on it, like a student using a singular CAD software. Yeah, but yeah, they do, obviously. The challenge is like there's not always a use case. Like they almost need like a sub-tier user, which is like, okay, they're going to only access for a few hours. I saw a service recently that was like per active user hour. Was that? Actually, I think that was a customer support thing. That was or like there was a minimum charge and then it was like it gave you so many. Was that Help Scout? I was checking them out the other day. I was like, that looks interesting. Per user. No, again, that's a per user one. There is one that was like, is it? I'm just going through the random ones that I looked at now. I can't remember what one it was. It's just annoying as a company is trying to do it, because then you end up with Like there's just systems you could put in place that you can't because it's cost prohibitive. I don't like that. So I'll close that, close that. Filter out internal and test users. So I've done a bit of a redesign since I've last used this tool. Verification email. How many verification emails am I getting today? Apparently still none from my own service. I need to go figure that out in a bit. I guess if I go, can I send that again? Change email address, resend verification email. Mailer sent. Activity. It doesn't look like. I'm not seeing any errors, and I'm not seeing anything around the sending of this. We obviously have this API key, but it doesn't seem to be really doing anything. That's another thing that's kind of annoying. Oh, I think actually there is a way in here to, so rather than doing that, I think there's probably something I can do to the post hog client to say skip sending. So I need to find the docs for the SDK, the Ruby SDK, which is down here. And then can I set a thing on here? Is there a thing of doing like, don't do this on? You know, screw it. I think what I'll do is I'll just set that in my own environment variable. So if I do e.env, that's my environment variables locally. I will just add the post hog API key. I think that's what it was called. Post hog API key, yes. And then we'll just paste that in once I find it again. Which will probably be on a separate screen. Get a bit tired of standing. How long have I been standing for? 2 hours? Sit down. Bloody office jockey. Only 2 hours. Yeah, but you know, we change to sit down and stand up. What was I looking for? So I was looking to go sign into the dashboard. It's got no events yet. We'll go project settings. We'll grab API key. The RAM in my chair is beginning to fail. It slowly goes down. Okay. Cool. Let's see what we can do. I should be able to go in here now and do Rails C. So this is running locally. Actually I probably need to. That's going to tell me that I haven't set environment variable. Yes, it is. We'll scroll down. We'll CD back out and CD back in. And then we'll run bin/dev again. Or no, we'll run Rails C again. Actually, that's a good point for here as well. Did that not fail? No. Hey ho. Control B3. So we should be able to access post hog in here now. And what we can do in here, we can capture. And we could just capture. Do we have to send a distinct ID all the time? Or can I just do .capture? And then I can just say event at load. I don't know. We'll just send that and see what it does. Argument name must be given. Do I need to send brackets around that then? Distinct ID must be given. I see. The distinct ID is a requirement. Distinct ID is going to be 1 event test. Sending request for 1 items. Post hoc status to 200. It's like 8 years old. Pop the best stod hand me down. What share is it? What share did you have? What am I looking for? In here. If I refresh, then go product analytics. Not new insight. Where do I go? Just like I just want to see data or events. There it is. So then I can see that hey, person 1 has done this thing. Noble share. Nice. Delete personal corresponding with events. Cool. So I've got my account with must admit set up. I have it sending some stuff. I think it would be good to capture the front end as well. And so I can go into my project settings and grab this snippet, or I can do that. Took a while for the stod smell to dissipate. Musk of stod. Should have bottled the scent and sold it to his followers. Sure, there's someone out there would buy it. You can replace them for about £25. Oh, look, the gas. Exit out here, and we'll go bin/import map in the RAM unit. Import map pin. What am I pinning? Post.js. We'll bring that into our code base, and then we'll just kind of copy this, but it won't exactly be this. What am I doing with this? Command B1, Control B, space PF. Like when I was using your PC when you were at Twitch, kind of had a different smell. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. The silver degrade, probably a silver unit cheap for manufacturing. What file am I looking for? Application.js. And I guess we're doing something like this, but it won't exactly be this. It will. The very first line will be import hosthog from hosthog-js space cf. Once I'm in here, might as well format the file. And then I need to grab something I think is on the screen that's also going to show a token, so I'm going to hide that screen briefly again, annoyingly. Copy. I've done them before, but usually the chair is dying in other ways when the RAM goes. Not normally worth it, but this one's still fine everywhere else. I had the DX Racer before, and the material on it all just started fraying off. Like little black bits would just be all covered on my floor. I had to get rid of it in the end. No, I got a Herman Miller Aeron. I didn't bother with the gaming chair anymore. Yeah, they were all the hype to begin with. Oof. Proper chair, proper chair. I used to just do like a what was it called? Staples? No, not Staples. Ryman? Like cheap chair for 50 quid. And they would fall apart after a year. Like, they were terrible. And yeah, like basic of basic £50 chair. And they would last a year, and then I'd buy another one, and then last a year, and I'd buy another one. I'm like, hang on, like, what am I doing here? My DX Racer, I think, lasted like... When did I buy that? I must have bought that maybe 2015. And I had it until last year. No, maybe it was 2016 I got the DX Racer. 2016, 2017, something like that. At least 5 years anyway. Yeah. But that's what I figured. I was like, well, I'll just spend decent money on a chair and it'll probably last a good time. I'm expecting this to last me good 10 years, I think. We'll see. We'll see. Kind of like a mattress, not really worth getting a cheap one. No, exactly. Especially when you're in it most of the time. Like, I'm either in a mattress or a chair. Either in this chair or in bed. Or on the sofa. The sofa is just a cheap. I don't think you can actually see the sofa in the stream. I don't even know. But just a little bit. The sofa bed's just a cheap IKEA. I don't say cheap. It's the only one I could find that comes out not forward. Comes out sideways. How did that feel there? Something that's comfortable. Yeah, I think the only problem with it now is I think some of the padding's going. And also it's kind of like you get a choice. One of the good things about it is you get a choice. If you like a more firm bed, you sleep on the bit that folds down. If you want a softer bed, then you sleep on the sitting part. If that makes sense. It's customizable sofa bed. It doesn't work if you've got two people that both want to be on the same. Decent bed. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good buy. I should probably wrap up stream at some point because I've got food being delivered. A cardo order. Let's try and get post hog in. If I get, let's see what's in here. So I'll add that. Need to add the gem file and those. Commit this. Add post hog. Hit push. I think I did 5 till 6 for the Ocado, so I've got some time. Let's see, and then, okay, once we've pushed that, we'll go into here, we'll click deploy, that'll get a new version of the application up, and then we should be able to get that running in here. And we'll get some view and post hog about what's going on. I do quite like how this is telling me that there's an n+1 query here. So n+1 queries are where essentially it's a very big query. Do they give a quick example I can use to explain what's going on with an n+1? I mean, I can show you one example because I know where there is one. 1270 sign in. Not that account. We won't use that account here. So on here, for example, when I edit the transcription, the way that this agenda loads is it loads the agenda. And then for each of these agenda points, it loads the subpoints. So the more agenda points there are here, it then makes more queries for each of those subpoints. Where actually I could just make one query for the whole lot of data. And rather than going query, 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 query. And so the n+1 queries being highlighted in here are like things that I need to look at. So it tells me that meetings controller create is an n+1 query. I'm a bit confused as to why that's an n+1 query because it should just be creating. But yeah, it says there's a bit here that repeats twice and that could be an empty pattern. And so if I quit out of here, that was on, does it say where it is? Well, it says it's the create action of the meeting. But I can look in the controller. And I don't really know what they're saying here. I suppose perhaps the view once we redirect, but that also seems odd. We're calling meeting.new. Maybe if we changed it to build rather than new, that would solve the problem. I'm not sure as to why that's repeating. But yeah, it's good that that's showing. If I go in development, yeah, development doesn't show anything anymore because I've not actually got the development key in there. I could actually send that data in, but... And then we should now have this deployed. So I should in here see potentially post hog being sending data. Yep. As I'm navigating around and on these different pages, post hog is doing stuff. And if I go to post hog dashboard, I should now be able to see these different views, and we can see information about what those people are doing, and I can get analytics, I can see retention and all sorts of information. I can see events. So like clicked on the link for text show meeting and then they went to this screen, page view. So I can go in here and just go, I just want to see page views that people are doing, look at individual people as they're signed in. It has a feature for recordings which I should turn on, but I need to add my billing information before they'll accept that. Do early access features. I can add a survey. Cool. And then if I go down here, notebooks, that's new. I've not seen notebooks before. Okay, I want to try and solve what's going on here because that's odd. I think these are because they are in the different folder. If I go and search for, let's build. I have a Rails app. In my JavaScript folder, I have, oh, and I should also say that it's using import maps. Some other folders. What were the... So I've got JavaScript, controllers, extensions, models. So it's loading controllers just fine. It's not loading the models or the extensions. I actually think I know what the problem is here. So if I go to application HTML ERB, we have JavaScript import map tags. Okay, so what is this? Rails JavaScript import map tags. Is there something I can do? Space pf import map. That says pin all from. Okay, fine. So that's what I need to do. I need to do pin all from as well. Pin all from /JavaScript. Can I type, please? JavaScript. And then extensions. Under extensions. And I also want to do pin all from. And then on this line, I will do extensions comes models. I'm not on that line. Oh yeah. S controllers becomes models +G, that entire line. Enter. Git. Oh, what's done here? I should be fixing. Fix JavaScript. Okay. And then if I go to here and click deploy again, hopefully. But it still doesn't really solve the problem of like what's going on with the layout. It's almost like we're not using the CSS for some reason, but we kind of are because the colors are there. Don't know what's going on with that. Let's see. Okay, completed. Refresh. Still a problem. It's saying assets/extensions. Controllers. Like, where are these all coming from? Assets/controllers. Okay. There's something weird about. I've pinned all of those. I feel like I should add preload to all of these as well. I don't know what the deal is with the preload. JavaScript import map tags. We'll search it. Import map tags. What have we got going on here? We've got Rails import map Rails. That is what we're using. And so we pin these things. We can use an absolute path, relative path, HTTP path. We pinned all of these things and then preloading pinned modules. I think actually the problem here is like Rails asset pipeline. Rails guides.rails group on Rails. The asset pipeline. I mean, I don't even know. Am I using? How do I know which asset pipeline I'm using? Because they're changing, right? Oh. Sprockets. How do I change from sprockets to the new one? Sprocket Rails. Replace sprockets. No, that's two Rails. Sprockets. Webpacker. No, there's a new. I'm sure there was. Oh, prop shaft. Prop shaft is the new thing. Prop shaft. Deliver assets for Rails. That's the thing that I'm thinking about. Okay, is there something about sprockets? Assets. Config initializes assets. let's see what ChatGPT was going to suggest, because I never actually suggested it to have a Ruby on Rails app using sprockets and import maps. I want to store some files in my nested folder called extensions in my JavaScript folder, but when I deploy to production, the files in that extensions folder cannot be found. Check assets to RB and the manifest configuration. That's here. Interesting here, like this. Manifest. But that's like vendor JavaScript JS, and then there's like JavaScript JS. But that's a whole linked tree, so. There's also assets compile in the production thing, so compile. Do not fall back to assets pipeline if precompiled asset is missed. So I can run Rails assets precompile. So if I go into here, do Rails assets precompile. Where do they get written to? Assets, and then so let's open that directory up. So that was, they get put in a folder that is called public assets. Public assets in here. So there's a whole bunch that are like controller. No. Tricks, stimulus import maps, stimulus autoloader, stimulus import map autoloader, stimulus loading. Surely one of these is our or a couple of these. There's a folder called models, controllers. Okay, there's all of the controllers, and then there's models. Okay, those are there. What gives? Still not like. Also, it's saying like it's just getting that as the thing. Problems. Alright, let's close some of these other things down. We've kind of set them up. I'll need to come back to them, but not that. So in our, we have a controller for the editor, and that is importing from these relative paths like / extensions / word _ mark. And as far as I'm aware, I didn't need to add them into here, but maybe I did. I don't know. So we've pinned them anyway, just in case. And the precompile does seem to do the thing. So let's actually just, we'll exit out of here. will go up. Well, not journal, that's not what I wanted to do. I actually want to have a look what's going on in here. So we're in the current directory. This is on the server. So this terminal that we're looking at right now is actually running in the server in London or wherever it was based. And I'm now looking for the same public assets folder because I want to see what's in there. I've got an extensions folder. The extensions has files in there. So they all look like they're loaded. And then this is in the transcription controller JS file, right? We'll yank that and we'll just give it that as well. Looks like the assets are compiled, but maybe not being looked for correctly. It works in remember that the path in a JavaScript import statement is resolved differently. Not using Webpacker. I'm a little bit confused. I'm actually curious as well. Does PostHog see these errors? Because I've got oh, actually what should see these errors is AppSignal, but like AppSignal should have a front for this stuff. So if I go into like muster minutes production, there should be, I'm really hoping it doesn't, integrations, notifications, general. Is there a setup? I just need to look at that screen that has the secrets on it. Front end monitoring. Yeah, there's a key. It's allowed to be exposed. And then documentation for how to set up the error tracking, the front end monitoring. So perhaps we can just configure this as well. There's an npm library for catching JavaScript errors available. Okay, installation. Should be a case of if thanks to JSPM CDN. I'll just do import map. Thank you. Import bin / import map pin. We'll pin at AppSignal / JavaScript. And then we should be able to go back to here and go application.js. We've got our post hog up there. Before I even do that, oh, actually I already have an import mapping. I should just be able to do this. Configure your import map. Yeah, that's fine. Interesting, it says import controllers. Do I need to do import extensions? I think I do, actually. I'm going to have to check that out because I think there's something a little bit weird about how the import maps are working. And the relative path works, but then the relative path doesn't work in production because the path names are all changed and everything gets moved around. It's looking in the right folder, but the file name is changed, and the import map obviously is part of that. So import app signal from app signal JavaScript. We'll create a new app signal where the key is that. And that's okay, you can see that key, chat. That's fine. I don't actually need that part, as far as I'm aware. Like, what do I do with that? I actually don't know if that's production or what that's going to be. That's front-end monitoring for production. So we'll just do a const key equals window.location. We'll just do is local. So here we're just going to check, hey, if the host name is, this is kind of hard because actually I use 127.0.1 a lot of time, but actually sometimes it's production, or not production, it's local host. So I suppose I could do something like that. Gets a bit messy, but. And then I like to swap this out here for is development. And then if it's, I don't need this part. %pom. Thought that was like some sort of special secret code. I haven't had a message yet, I don't think. But I do have a message from someone else. No, Ocado comes tomorrow. Because I booked it too late. Tomorrow's Ocado, 5 till 6. But Katie will be on her way soon. So I do need to wrap up either way. I need to start doing dinner at some point soon. Okay. So this, I don't know why I'm using a mouse. What am I using the mouse for? Gross. Delete to the end of the line. And just pass the key in there, CF. And then this one, if we find the development page, app settings, push and deploy, we can use that code there. So development uses the first one, if it's production it uses the second one, and then it runs app signal. That's the idea. Let's just do can't get. What have we got? We've got application import maps changed. That's the only thing. So we'll just do both of those. What actually changed there? Added app signal. Fine. CC. Add app signal to front end. Thank you, by the way, for the notice on the time. Go back up here, deploy, get a deployment in there, and then Rails import maps relative, like something about that. How do import maps work? Sure, relative kind of works, right? But sprockets used to serve unless I preload them. Maybe if I preload, then the issue goes away. In all from. Let's see if I can find where that is. If I just do a search in this code base for pin all from. I can set preload. Oh, preload true is there by default. Oh, in this version of import map. But I don't think I'm using this version of import map. What version am I using? Oh, no. Can I find out? Is it my gem file? Import map Rails. Gem file.lock. Import map. 1.2.3 is the version we're currently using. So if we check that out on there, the tag. And then in this version, can I search pin all from? Oh, missed call. I'll be right back in a second. I'll go be right back and then. obviously, because you can, see me. I felt like I was getting close, but no, cigar maybe, because this doesn't say preload true there. It says preload. It doesn't say preload false. The default is preload true. So, don't know what's going on there. It's still not working, but you can see it's going asset/extension/wordmark, which does not exist. In fact, if I find the one that's not working by getting rid of the cross, see there that's just a wordmark. The other ones are all doing like .js and all of the other things. So something I need to figure out there is a problem. What I have done though, and maybe it will be interesting to see, is I think I've configured app signal, so I should be able to see these JavaScript errors in app signal at some point for the front end, and they should come up in here, I would imagine. But let's just check. If I refresh this page, I should see some stuff from app signal. I actually don't know where it talks to app signal. Any fetch XHR? There's a lot to post hog. But what about app signal? So it should be doing something with that. We should be... It should do some network requests, I would have thought, to app signal. And we should see them in here, I would have thought. But I don't see them. So I'm not feeling hopeful that it's going to show up in here. I guess what we could do is perhaps, well, I want to do space PV in here, application. One of the other things in the controllers, there's an index.js. Eager load controllers from. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna grab. I think it's in here. This application.js is different, right? This one's in the controllers. This one's here. But I imagine these are all loaded the same. They must be because post hog's running. That's not where I meant to open that, but hey. Won't preserve the log. I want to see app signal. And obviously there's these index.js. Installing app signal on the JavaScript side. Then for more information about configuration, see the configuration section. It takes a key, takes a URI, a namespace, a revision, and ignore errors. Perhaps there needs to be an error that's like actually thrown. So if I like throw new error, blah, and call error, did it as a result of that error do anything? Note. So it probably only works if something in the code throws an error. Development's not doing anything right now. Production. Issue list. All logs. Still not seeing any logs in here. Okay, okay. How to use import maps as JavaScript asset pipeline. Import maps are the default JavaScript process, and the logic for generating import maps is handled by the import mails Rails gem. Okay. You import that. You have a config, which we've got. And what that should do is, if I look in the if I look in the inspector, there's an import map here. And so there is like extensions / utterance node, which goes to that. So perhaps that's the thing that I'm doing wrong here. Like the major thing is that in the, I can't even remember what, JavaScript. Okay, we don't import anything there. Do we do anything in there? No, nothing of note. Nothing of note. The one place where we're doing it is in our transcription editor. And I don't think, because now we've configured the import map, we don't actually need those. Because they're in here, module / transcription, extension / so the .. / can go because now we have the import map configured. And so write that and then do git, we'll add that, we'll check it out, fix JavaScript one more time, and then we'll git push, and I think that should solve that problem. It won't solve the layout though. I don't understand why the layout's all a bit screwy. That's a confusing one. We'll click deploy and wait for that to go through. Hopefully that solves our problem. And then quite cool to have deployment markers in here as well. Error handling. So we've configured it, we've installed it. What does it do about error handling? Does it do something on its own, or do I need to do something about error handling? It looks like I need to use it, to import this and then use it in my files. I can't just add it in and then it does stuff. It looks like it actually needs to hook in somehow, do stuff to what's going on. Stimulus. So I can actually add that to there. Okay, is this deployed? It has. If I refresh this, okay, I've now not got loads of console errors. My page is still all over the place though. What is going on? I think perhaps some of the CSS isn't loading or something, like something weird with the CSS side of things. It's kind of half there because like the colors and some of the shapes and the border radius, but it's almost as if my tailwind comfort, like this Polaris color is there. Porcelain is applying as a color, but my header, which is meant to be columned, like I don't see a dot columned class applying. There is no columned class. That's another issue. Columned is a composition, and then tailwind.css is supposed to be calling that composition, but it's not. Perhaps that's a problem with Hatchbox and how it's deploying. It's probably my guess. What does it actually do when it does this? It does update Node.js. It does call npm install. It installs yarn. I don't know like why it's installing yarn. Node modules. No personal API key provided, disabling local evaluation. Is that for... Just going to check the environment quickly. Okay, I don't know that. I wonder if there's like environment variables that I should apply when in production kind of thing, or when in build. Not sure. Then okay, fine. Mains, repository, activity, processes, server. Yeah, odd that that's not getting picked up into my CSS. This is the pre-build script. I figured that the pre-build script would just automatically figure itself out, but it doesn't look like it is. There's a custom, is this the default bundle install and yarn? I used Tailwind CSS Rails as like the default when I set this up. And so I don't know what that does in regards to, so it's automatically attached to assets precompile. Oh, but that's not going to be using our config. It might use, I don't know how it gets the colors, but that config is different because in our proc file, which is over here, we have post CSS. We're using post CSS to do a lot of our things, like fetching the import globs, and this is going to be using, probably uses the correct config file, but maybe doesn't work with some of the things, so it just falls back once it hits a couple of errors. So how do I change that? Oh, apparently create custom config post CSS config file. Well, that's what we have. I want to stop doing the assets precompile. I think I'm actually gonna have to call it there, unfortunately. We are over 3 hours now. I've been streaming for a while. And we are in an advert at the moment as well. I'll wait until that. Perfect timing. 26 seconds. Just come back and he's gone. Going. I'm sorry. Oh. Yeah, I don't really want to. It's not really a choice. I do have to go make dinner now, unfortunately. Always the way. Sorry, Bish. Had quite a few people hanging out as well, which thank you for joining and hanging out and ducks, all that good stuff. I feel like it's been a bit wishy-washy today. Like, I've been jumping around a lot, so it's been hard to follow. But I feel like I'm making progress slowly on getting some of this stuff set up. And yeah, there's a few things I want to do still. I'm kind of tackling several issues all at once. But yeah, thank you for hanging out. I'm going to be back on tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be earlier tomorrow and can do a bit longer. I need to wrap up some stuff this evening with the other stuff. To be honest, mostly have been lurking, had a few bits on today. No worries, still appreciate it. Helps move up in the directory as well, which is always good. So I'm quite happy for people to lurk. In fact, it was one of my first emotes, so I usually just lurk in chats these days. But yeah, cool. Probably same time tomorrow. Well, earlier tomorrow, 12-ish lunchtime, after lunch or something. And then I will have to finish at 4 tomorrow. 5. Yeah, 5, because I have the Ocado order. Cool. I don't even know where to go. No, not that one. Cat.musterminutes.com. And log out. And then this screen you can see. Which, again, I still need to sort the CSS out. We'll solve it tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.